The process has to be competitive. The process has to be maximization of revenue. Now we are talking of renewal of leases. Speaker sir, I would like to ask the government, what is the government's reply on all this? Because one side we are talking of 2G, one side we are talking of mining leases. The matter is the state. It is a natural resources which nobody can deny. Nobody in the house can deny. I want a clear-cut answer, Speaker sir.
Speaker sir, खरं म्हणजे उत्तर हातून येना ते law department. But since I am law minister also, and he refers to a very serious judgment of a Supreme Court, I will just like to point out to him. Number one, the judgment is referring after presidential reference has been modified by the Supreme Court. That is number one. So read that modified judgment. Number two, Supreme Court laid down guidelines are always where there is no clear-cut law existing. Where law is existing, the court is only have powers to interpret the law. They cannot form a new law. It is job of the legislation to form a new law. And त्यामुळे in matter of mining, there exists a very clear defined law which is in force from 1957, and in case of Goa from 1987 additional amendment, modification of the concession into leases. So there are clear-cut laws against which the Supreme Court currently is also hearing the matter, and I think this issue was discussed in Supreme Court, and the matter was very clearly expressed by the judges that here the law is very clear. The argument made was about this same issue by Shanti Bhushan, Mr. Bhushan, Prashant Bhushan, and I think the reaction was that there is an existing law in the field, there is no vacuum. Court can issue direction where the vacuum exists.
Speaker sir, we are in the Legislative Assembly. Our job is to legislate. Our job is to see that what we get maximum to the state. That is our responsibility. Speaker sir, what I want to say, although it is under statute, I want the government to come clean. I want the government to say, okay, this is the natural resources. We have to do something. If we have to modify the law, we'll modify the law. Because we are here, we are lawmakers. Why we should lose revenue? Why the state should suffer? Why few families should profit? My contention is that few families should not profit. I am very clear on that. Speaker sir, we are here not to compromise the interest of the state. Why not make a legislation? No, Speaker sir, one small thing. One small thing. What I am saying is, let us say, although it comes in the domain of the central government, say mining is coming in the central government, until we in the state take a decision, central government will not be able there. So my thing is very clear. Speaker sir, I want a clear-cut direction. Say that we'll do it.
Speaker sir, तो म्हणता ते बरोबर आसा. ताणे म्हाका मातसो इल्लो सपोर्ट दिवचो इलेक्शनाक. नरेंद्र मोदीक ताणे निवडून हाडचो. म्हणजे हांव सेंट्रलाक सांगून हो विषय करून घेता, कारण मायन्स फॉल्स अंडर शेड्यूल 1 which comes under center's jurisdiction and not Goa's jurisdiction. Therefore I am not in position to make any law in the legislation, but I promise him that if BJP comes to power in center in the next election, we will get it done.
Sir.
If no, sorry, when BJP comes.
Speaker sir,
if change kele, when BJP comes in the next election.
Speaker sir, I am very clear. We are not here to make a political statement. We are here to go as per law. I have asked him whether, I have told him that it is the domain of the central government. I am very clear. I have said that central government has the powers. But if the state government wants, state government can send the process into motion. Why is he not doing it?
It is your
It's like saying, Speaker sir, it's like saying, Speaker sir, one second, let me finish. Speaker sir, it's like saying we want special status. Same thing it is. What we are doing is, we have to be clear here. We have to decide. We are lawmakers over here. Let us decide once and for all. We say, okay, we want it. Let the central government refuse it.
No, you bring a
why we want the BJP government? Why you want Namos and Manos?
See, he has said Parliament and करपा आता म्हणून ताणी सांगले न्ही फुडें.
कर सर, हांव ताका इतले प्रॉमिस दिता की म्हजे कडच्यान जाय जाल्यार हांव प्रायम मिनिस्टराकूय लेटर धाडटा हाजेर. म्हाका धाडपाक कांयच ना, पण पयर लुंगी आयिल्ली पळय.
Speaker sir, This is unparliamentary
Vijay
words.
Sardesai.
He is not unparliamentary.
Speaker sir,
My chief secretary wears it.
Speaker
Vijay
sir,
Sardesai.
Speaker sir, to
Vijay Sardesai
Speaker sir,
uletla
one
आता.
second,
ना.
one second. I want to
ना,
make a
ना,
point.
ना. Please
Speaker
sit
sir, I
first.
want to make a point.
Please
I want
sit
to make a
first.
point. To poilo
Please
करता.
sit first.
He is doing this.
Please sit first.
Poilo to हे भाषण करता.
सकल बस पहिले.
मागी तुमरीचा privilege घालता.
Please sit first.
No, no, I am sitting down, but tell him not to make this
Why you are
statement.
standing then?
No, no, I am making. I am trying to tell you
Bus,
something. To stand, I have to tell
no,
you
no,
something.
nothing of that. Please sit.
Voice पाहणे, उलोपांगण दिना का?
इतले फाट उठून उभा राहतलो आणि उलयतलो when I already called the other member.
No, he is making a.
Why you are taking?
Speaker sir, he is making a statement.
You don't behave like a person who is outside the house.
I know I am.
Just sit.
Speaker sir, I know to
Just
behave.
sit. You are here
Speaker sir,
to.
I know to behave.
Speaker sir, the Chief Minister made reference to MMDR Act 1957. Now, what is the stand of the government in the questionable period between 22/11/2007 to 10/9/2012, when the same government suspended mining leases? In this interim period, whatever that was on, was the automatic renewal legally tenable? What is the stand of the government? I would like to know only that.
Speaker sir, it is not stand of the government. It is a law which says that if the mining lease is not specifically terminated or renewed, it is considered as deemed renewal. This is a judgment also Supreme Court, and subsequently there is a amended in the very same section he quoted 8. There is, I think 8(4) makes it, I may be slightly wrong on the exact section, but the deemed clause provision exists in the 24A(6). The deemed clause provision exists. That means if you don't renew it or order for renewal or don't reject it, then automatic deemed renewal is considered and the lease continues.
Shri
Then
Ganesh
what was the basis of the
आयचा
PAC report then? मला ते renew legal झाले
सरदेसाई
ताका PAC समजूंक जाय जाल्यार
सर PAC report ना म्हणून म्हाका answer दिया हाजे पयलीं.
PAC रिपोर्टान डीम रिन्युअलाचेर कांयच म्हणून ना.
म्हणून रिपोर्टूच ना म्हणून दिल्ले आहा.
श्री गणेश गावकर आयचो प्रश्न.
ना म्हणून दिल्ले आहा.
कितें?
लेजिस्लेचर डिपार्टमेंटान आन्सर दिल्ले आहा PAC रिपोर्टूच ना म्हणून. जो आमी रेफरन्स करता
मंत्री.
ताजे आमी मागिल्ले गेले असेंब्ली सेशनाक.
केला
क्लियर कट दिल्ले आहा ना म्हणून रिपोर्ट
It has been sent to government.
बस आयचो प्रश्न श्री गणेश
Speaker sir, I may be permitted to ask question number 1B.
1B.
एकूच मिनिट रावा. मायनीच्या दुल्ल्यांच्यान मातसो सायडीक सरता. 1B. Combined question, Amare. Speaker sir, the reply is as per printed.
Speaker sir, मायनिंगाचेर खूब डिस्कशन जाला, पण म्हाजो क्वेश्चन आसलेलो whether the government has finalized any mining dump policy, and if so, the details of such a policy. आमकां जी मायनिंग पॉलिसी एनक्लोज केल्ली मेळ्ळी आसा, पॉलिसी गोवा मिनरल पॉलिसी 2013. म्हाका माननीय मुख्यमंत्र्या कडेन जाणून घेवपा जाय की मायनिंग डंप पॉलिसी वेगळी आसतली काय कितें?
Speaker sir, since dump form part of the mining, dump policy is a part of this policy. The honorable member may read section 6. It says dump handling policy. For effective regulation of dump and stock yards, 6.1, 6.11, 6.3, to about 6.3.8, then 7, priority fresh mining versus dump mining, आणि डेसिनल टार्गेट्स ह्या तिनूय हातून सगळे हाजे डंपाचे हे आयिल्ले आसा, म्हणजे कंप्लीट डिटेल्स आयिल्ले आसा. हाऊ डंप सायट्स वील बी आयडेंटिफायड एंड ताजोच भाग आसा तो 6 नंबर आनी 7 नंबर, 6, 7, 8 3 सेक्शनां डंपाचेर आहा.
सरकारा कडेन कितें डिटेल्स अवेलेबल आसा की कितली क्वॉन्टिटी डंप्स आसा आनी तेजी ग्रेड?
स्पीकर सर, सरकारा कडेन टेंटेटिव्ह माहिती आसा, पण हांव आमदाराक सांगूंक सोदता and with quite satisfaction that my Deputy Chief Minister came out with amendment in the land revenue code, and based on that we formulated a conversion policy for the dumps. आता कन्वर्शन पॉलिसी डंपाच्या सकयल 3 ऑक्टोबराक पयलो म्हयनो सोंपलो. तो पर्यंत आमकां सगळो जो डेटा आयला तो आतां हे चालू आसा, म्हणजे पुटिंग इट ऑन द कॉम्प्युटर एंड प्रॉपरली एसेसिंग इट. पण ताजेर 188 कोटी रुपया आमकां जमा जाल्ले आसा, 187 आनी कितें तरी कोटी. आनी ज्या लोकांनी एक्सटेन्शन मागला तो सगळो हिशोब घेतलो जाल्यार आनीक 100-125 कोटी. म्हणजे मायनीच्या हातूंच्यान पयशे काडप हे केवळ लिजाचेर काडून आमी डंपाचेर सुद्दां कन्वर्शन जमनीचो वापर जो केला ताजेर काडप ऑलरेडी पयशे आमी घेवपाक सुरवात केल्या. जवळ जवळ 300 कोटी आसपास येवंक जाय असो आमचो अंदाज आहा. 188 जमा जाले तिजोरेन आनी आनीक 100-125 कोटी जमा जातले. एक्झॅक्ट डिटेल तुका रेव्हेन्यू डिपार्टमेंट दिवंक शकतले जाय जाल्यार त्या वेळार आमकां म्हणजे आनीक म्हयन्याभरान सेल्फ डिक्लेअर्ड ऑटोमॅटीक डिटेल मेळटले. They are already giving that detail, but it appears that total dumps are around 2,000 hectares in land, approximately 2,000 hectares, of which 70% is privately owned and around 30% is government owned. अशें दिसता अदमास. I cannot. आणि जे कोण डंप कोणूच क्लेम करना पळय आफ्टर द पर्टिक्युलर पॉलिसी इज ओवर, that will be taken over by government and auction.
Shri Vijay Sardesai.
No, it is combined. It is a joint question. Yes.
Okay, yes.
It is a joint question.
ताजो supplementary आशिल्लो म्हणून ताका दिला हांवें.
No, it's a combined question.
He is bracketed.
I'm
Okay,
bracketed.
yes, you do it.
Speaker sir, I want to point out certain irregularities in this thing. Now this dump policy of the MMDR Act, it contravenes MMDR Act, also the Supreme Court order. The dump policy doesn't apply, I'm quoting from scope of the dump policy. In fact, dump policy applies to dumps of mining rejects under section 36(2) of the Land Revenue Code on the land not covered under land leased for mining activity. How can Goa government regularize dumps outside leased area which are ordered illegal in Karnataka illegal dumping case? Speaker sir, whatever we do, we have to do rightfully. We cannot do its scope for other things. That is why I am pointing out certain things. Now, is not the dump policy contravening the reportable judgment of the Supreme Court? What the Supreme Court judgment said? I am only pointing few lines of the. We would like to observe that the contravention urged on behalf of some of the lessees that the dumping of mineral waste, mining waste or overburden dumps do not constitute operations under 3D of a MDR Act, and it is too naive for acceptance. The wide terms of the definitions contained in section D of the MMDR Act empasses all activity which means mining operations. Even though tu office kottalo, ek office bantalo, it becomes mining activity. Speaker sir, the section 3 of the MMDR Act means operation taking for winning. Means ek kaise kaam karba. Now isn't this MMDR Act same for Karnataka, same for Goa? One last thing I want to point out, is the government taking money, not taking is not the government not showing the carrot and taking money, is not dumping outside legal, outside lease area illegal as per MMDR Act. I want a clear cut. Why? Because I am also proving to point that edge poiling in the simple dala ha, Supreme Court anamka infantile wisdom mullo ha, deliberate labyrinth mullo ha, egocentric governance mullo ha, use of common sense to the most uncommon degree mullo. Speaker sir, I want the government to be clear. All these judgments I have quoted, I want the Chief Minister to state that it will not come under Supreme Court judgments, it will not be state, whatever, I want it clear. It should not contravene, both what we do in the state should not contravene to the Supreme Court.
Speaker sir, पहिली ताका डंपाच्या हाजेर सांगू काय ताजे सुप्रीम कोर्टान कितें म्हणलां हाजेर सांगू? त्याच सुप्रीम कोर्टाचो तुका हांव जजमेंट वाचून दाखयता बाय वन ऑफ द डिसेंटिंग जज. Comments on the judgment in neat. After going through the judgment, I could not persuade myself.
Neeta's a question.
No, तुवें comment केलो म्हणून तुका सांगता. After going through the judgment, I could not persuade myself to share the same views. त्याच जुईजान म्हणला नीट जजमेंटान, as the learned Chief Justice is to retire within few days, I have to be quick and therefore also short. Prior preparation